Welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a good day here so far. Good day here so far. So let's get started. We're financial advisors here with Jazz Wealth. We just do this show to update our customers every day, update you guys on how things are going. Or those of you that are interested, I'll ask you, where's your financial advisor? Are they helping you? Are they paying attention to you? If not, maybe you'll check us out here at Jazz Wealth. That's our sales pitch for the day. Let's get started. Off to your right, you should see the stock markets today starting the week positive, kind of carrying over from all the goodness that we saw last week. Just a little bit of a gain there. What was interesting is the Nasdaq and the Russell 2000. Decent performance on the day there. So you basically have a nice little spillover from last week. You wake up, you come to work, you say, okay, the markets are doing okay. So a couple things to mention here. You got the Dow higher by 100, S&P 17, and the Nasdaq 100 added 84. There was a handful of normal reports that come out, some of our economic reports that did not come out because of the government shutdown. There will be a lot more of that going forward. So as you look through the normal sort of economic releases throughout the week, chances are they're not going to be released or will be released a little bit later there. Market-wise, so doing great. We're now 9 to 10% off the lows, depending on which index you're looking at. And I'll kind of reiterate this as I go look through this here with you. As you invest for the long term, right, and you get shaken out by these declines in the market, it's kind of like shame on you, right? Because the only reason you would sell when the markets fall would be that you've reached your goal and you need that money. It's time to start taking the money out, right? Or that you just didn't know how your investments work. See, if I was just having a conversation with somebody about this earlier, saying they mentioned a mutual fund that they were in, and I said, when was the last time that mutual fund went out of business? Why would you change when things are selling off just because they're selling off? So we're now 9 to 10% off these lows, meaning if you panicked and sold off, like a lot of people did right in there, then now you're missing out on that recovery, at least 10% of it so far. So that's that one. Anyways, you got the White House said that the IRS refunds would go out despite the government being shut down. There's a lot of questions there, right? Who's gonna do it, right? Nobody wants to work because they're not getting paid. Trump's also going to do a live TV address on all the channels tomorrow at 9 o'clock before he travels to the border. So expect that a lot of that conversation is going to be about, hey, we want a border wall there, as he continues that one there. A couple other things throughout the week. You have Consumer Electronics Show out in Vegas. That's all week long. That's also pretty cool if you like to look at that stuff. And JP Morgan's doing a healthcare conference. I believe it's the largest healthcare conference that is put on. And remember, JP Morgan, Berkshire Hathaway, and Amazon working together to try to tackle healthcare. There could be some interesting announcements out of that. Okay, if you look at the stock market here, we are now, like I said, 9 to 10% off the lows. You got to understand, what are you preparing for next? You know how I always say, I don't want to be the guy that told you so, I want to be the guy that told you ahead of time. So now that the markets have lifted up off the lows, what should you expect next? Prepare your mind for what's about to happen. And in reality, we got a lot of stuff coming up, so it's quite possible that the markets take a break from here. Watch how the sentiment changes over the next few days simply because the market takes a break. It ran up this steep hill. Look at all this work it did over the last 9-10 days. It'd be normal for it to take a break. Watch how they try to change the sentiment on that. Don't fall for that, right? If you're a long-term investor, just because the colors on the screens change doesn't mean anything. Now, that's the S&P 500. If you're a tech-heavy investor, you're going to have the same thing. You have a market that's recovered back into this downtrend. Not quite there, but you can kind of see it as you got a little downtrend there, and the market's moved back up to the top of it there. So know that there could be a break. And if there is a break, a pause, some sideways, a week worth of nothing movement, or a little decline there, then no big deal. The only thing you ask the market is that it doesn't move lower too fast. A pullback is fine, just not too fast. Let's take it even further. Go deeper into the markets. Look at your if you've been invested in oil service companies, oil production companies, the refineries, the transportation companies in the oil space, then you know, hey, it's been a good run, right? You got 5 days off the lows here for the price of oil, doing really well. It's taken along a lot of that with it. The oil ETFs, and everything I just mentioned. So just know that if that takes a break, if the price of oil takes a break, then no big deal. Retail's a big one. If you're a retail-heavy investor, you kind of felt like you had a little blow off top in the ultra short term today, and you'd expect to see that take a break and maybe not accomplish as much going forward. Look, if it pulls back, your mind is ready for it. If it continues to move higher, you're just shocked, but you're shocked and you're winning at the same time. Consumer discretionary stocks, same thing. Great little move up off the lows. Prep your mind. Look at every other time it's had sharp moves off the lows, it takes a break. You hope it doesn't take a break and move to new lows, but it takes a break after having these kind of moves. Anywhere, in an uptrend, a downtrend, a sideways trend, doesn't matter. Home builders, you see the theme here. You see how everything has had a buying opportunity. You know where that comes from. Everybody that panicked and sold going into the end of the year, I've had the phone calls. I see you guys. You panicked into the end of the year. Now the question is, oh crap, is that the bottom? Do I need to go back into the markets? And a lot of people are doing that. So just a lot of emotion in there. Semiconductors still have room to run, by the way. And then financials, those are not overbought, or nothing's overbought, but financials are not at a position where they might take a break. So you have a little room for them to push the markets higher if that's still going to be the case there. Okay, I think I covered it there. You didn't see the price of oil. That's 5 days up off the lows there, 5 consecutive days higher. We mentioned semiconductors there. A lot of the semiconductor names did well today. Out of the Consumer Electronics Show, you had Nvidia. They got a new lower priced graphics card for gamers that's coming out. I think it's the same type of card they already have, but this one's a little bit lower priced to try to attract even more people into that e-league gaming sort of thing that they're killing it with. Utilities lagged today. If you have any utility investments in your portfolio, they were a little bit sort of slow on the day and negative, down a little bit on the day. Gold mining stocks pulled back as the price of gold. I mean, it was positive on the day, but gold's trying to pull back a little bit in there as well. And then your consumer staple stocks, they were a little bit weak on the day. A lot to do because of Altria. The cigarette maker, they were downgraded today. Okay, other stocks you're going to see in the news, we'll briefly go through them. Eli Lilly. So Eli Lilly was the latest in the healthcare space to kind of announce this acquisition here. They're buying the cancer drug company Loxo, which happens to be their exact symbol there. $235 a share is what it works out to be. It's $8 billion in cash. Remember last week you had BMY who bought, BMY who bought Celgene for I think it was $70 billion, doesn't matter. So anyways, we talked about it last week, the idea that will there be more of this consolidation going on in the healthcare space, the biotech space, and so far it seems like that's the case. PG&E, the electric company out of California that was responsible for those fires 2017-18 that unfortunately killed a lot of people, they may have to go bankrupt. So the stock down over 20% on the day. They may actually be one of the first utilities, big utilities in a long time, to be forced to go bankrupt. Not cool. So that stock was lower on the day. Apple, I guess you're going to be able to now get the iTunes shows on Samsung devices. So Apple showing that they can play nice there. They kind of have to because a lot of people don't really care for Apple around the world at the moment. Think about this, by the way. If I could just sort of grab your ear. There's going to be a lot of negative talk about Apple and how they didn't get as many phone upgrades as they want. You know what Apple's doing? They're laughing. Right? Apple could care less right now because, and always think forward, guys. Stay with me here for a second. Always think forward because right now it's the doom and gloom is all on Apple. The news, the pressure, the headlines that don't look very good. Know that Apple is sort of chuckling at this because what's just about to come out? Summertime this year? We're coming out with 5G here in the States, right? Verizon, AT&T, everybody's already in place to do this I believe by the summertime. Here's what happens. You'll need a 5G phone. What's Apple already done? They've already started manufacturing their 5G phones. They'll be out later in the year. So although right now it's kind of like, oh no, Apple's not going to do it. Nobody wants to upgrade their phones. Everybody's going to want to upgrade their phones by the time we get past the summertime because now there's 5G and they want to take advantage of that. By the way, look into this. 5G is not just like, oh, it's slightly faster than 4G. It's one extra bar, man. Hey, I got 6 bars now or whatever. No, this is incredible what 5G can do. And if it's truly happening here by the summertime, Apple will take the beating now. I can promise you Warren Buffett's in there laughing at everybody as well because think about it. You all want the best and brightest, the next thing that's available from Apple. If you're now forced to do it because your existing phone won't do it, you can't wait anymore. they're going to have everybody and their mother going to buy these new phones. I'm not saying the stock's a buy. I mean, obviously it's severely discounted. I'm a discount kind of guy, but don't let the headlines scare you away. This is another great example of how headlines will make you do stuff that's outside the norm of what you should be doing. So don't let the emotion get the best of you. If you own shares of Apple, go ahead and laugh with Apple right now. They do have earnings coming up, and of course we'll cover that as they do it there. Dollar Tree, they're in the news. This is a great performing stock here lately. It's up another 5.5% today. There's an activist investor. Activist investor, by the way, means an investor that invests in a company to push them to do something. Carl Icahn, one of the most famous activist investors, he is the reason Apple pays a dividend, by the way. So what they do is they take a stake in a company, go for board seats, and then push their agenda on the company, sort of forcing them to either do it or we're going to acquire enough of your company to do it. Starboard is not big enough yet, 1.7% of Dollar Tree, but their goals, Wall Street agrees with their goals and what they're going to push for. They want them to sell off, was it Dollar General? Family Dollar is the other one. I get them confused all the time. They want them to sell off Family Dollar and change their pricing structure at Dollar Tree. Investors love that. Stock price was higher on the day. I don't know if you guys need to know all that. I don't know why I know all that. Tesla higher by 5.5% today. This was overnight. Elon Musk flew over to China, stuck the shovel in the ground and cut the ribbon and goes, yay, we're opening a new gigafactory here. I don't think even partial production starts for another 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. But investors like to see that. It's diversification. They're getting over there in China, which means that everything they want to do to deliver in China, they'll have access to without having to deal here with whatever's going on in the States. GE, another 6% on the day. This is sort of old news, but Apollo, it's another private equity group there. Apollo's looking to acquire their aircraft leasing unit. People just had the weekend to figure out about how much it's worth. 40 billion is the magic number there. So maybe look for an offer from them here in the coming days. Oh, and Roku. Roku, by the way, 25% on the day. Boy, those guys at Needham got to just be loving that right now, calling it their best pick for 2019. It's done nothing but go higher since then. They're partnering more with TCL. You know how you can buy the TV that's got the Roku built into it? Just got one for the missus this Christmas, that's how I know. But it's got a Roku built into it. Now they're going to go to the 8K TVs, 55 inches, I believe. So great partnership there that they're looking to expand, which means more people using Roku, possibly without even, knowing or buying the actual thing there. Now, as far as the stock market goes, we are definitely not out of the woods. I prepared your mind for if Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all down days. As long as they're small down days, you now know that's totally normal, right? It's to be expected. Let everybody breathe, take a break, get some new headline to look for. But we still have the government shutdown. That's going to, the noise is going to get bigger and bigger there. So if you're a long-term investor, don't be scared by the short-term noise. Short-term noise includes the government shutdown. Trade discussions going on, I believe, as we speak right now. Brexit vote, that's coming up January 15th. Know that that's going to make headlines. This could be, the big deal here. So that will make headlines and be a big deal. Earnings are coming out. I'm really interested in the banks. JP Morgan's the first bank to report earnings, the first notable bank on January 15th. See how we're all this sort of news is starting to kind of focus around certain days here. We got about a week to go. So know that while it's kind of like, yay, we're coming off the lows, well, that wasn't so bad. Know that it could get really interesting over the next couple of days here, and weeks as well. Of course, we'll cover it as we go. Yeah. So, we got some Apple fans there. Happy to answer questions if you have any. Otherwise, we'll just wrap it up. Nicole added some Apple today. You like your Apple? Can't blame somebody for liking a discount there. I mean, look. I guess the SEC's closed. I like the stock too. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Okay, cool. So I think we covered everything. I'm just going to look real quick at the headlines. Anything else? Nope, nothing interesting there since, or that we didn't already cover there. I'll wrap it up from there. I appreciate every one of you watching. If your advisor is nowhere to be found, doesn't want to talk to you, you don't ever hear from him, doesn't even send you an email, right? Happy birthday video. Check us out. Go on our website there. If you don't need one, you like doing this yourself like a lot of you are, I understand, then maybe you'll just hit the subscribe button so you can help us out there. Appreciate it. All right, enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.
Hey, wait! Before you go watch one of our other great videos, have you had a chance to see our new Fin Tips videos? They focus on one topic at a time, covering investing, personal finance, and anything that can quickly help you with your dough. Best of all, we'll keep it real short, because we know time is money.